Hello, just bring you back. Yeah, talking this time. Just going to carry on with the van. Going to have a go at the front wheel arches. There's only one bit of rust on the front, one small bit. So it should be a bit more straightforward than the back. The back I had to fill in holes with fiberglass, etc. Now it's an old van. I've had it 3 years now. It's mechanically fantastic. Well, it is now that I've spent 3 years sorting it all out. But it's just getting really tatty around the body. Now, it's either I'm doing it up so that it's good to keep, there's a fly in my eye, or if I don't get my head fixed in the next 3 months, I'll sell it, because I don't actually use the van at all. I can't drive at the moment, so, and we've got another car. We're down to, well, I've got one family car and the van, and that's it, because I don't drive. So anyway, it's giving me something to do, and it's what's the word, fulfilling to do it. So yeah, I'll turn you around and show you what's happening. Right, this left-hand front wing is fine, just needs sanding down, priming and stone chipping, so this should be straightforward. Oh, my shadow, this side's not so good. There's a bit of a rust patch there, but the main thing is I've got this gash, goes from there right the way down the door and then under the door. It was about a week after I bought the van. I went to the sandwich shop for work, and when I came back out the sandwich shop, somebody had driven down the side of it and nobody saw it, and there were no cameras. So before that, the side of this van was as good as it could be for a 20-year-old, 19-year-old van. But these wings are bolt on, as are the doors. I keep looking, one day I'll find a right-hand front wing in white and I can just literally take this off and put the next one on. But as far, I haven't found one yet. Well, I saw one the other day. It was white. There were no dents in it, but there were scratches and bits all over it, so it needed respraying. Well, if I'm going to respray a whole wing, I might as well pull the dents out of this, fill it and respray the whole wing. So for now, rust, and then I'm going to do the same as I did on the rear wheel arches. And also I'm going to redo, I don't know if this is coming out, it's so bright, the sunshine. I'm going to redo these skirts just to get them to the same sort of colour as that, and the rear bumper, I'm going to redo that. It's not actually painted, the rear bumper, it's just plastic. And on these, they don't paint the rear bumper because obviously you're going to scratch it loading it, but they do paint the front bumper in body colour, which I think is really stupid. My front bumper's really tatty, so I'm trying to figure out, I'm definitely going to paint the front bumper in black, but I don't know how much of it to paint. The bumper line, the top of the bumper sort of follows these two trims here, comes along here, and it ends up, I'm thinking, painting the wheel arches black all the way around to there into the bumper, and then painting the bottom half of the bumper and leaving the top half in white, so that from the side, you see what I mean, it follows the line that's just below this trim, and if you get to the front it's just below the trim. Whereas if I paint the whole front bumper, it's going to look like a Series 1 Freelander boat. So I'm thinking, yeah, but the top of the front bumper is pretty crap anyway. But then again, the whole van, the bodywork on this van is literally a 19-year-old work van. It's got paint, it's got chips, it's got rust, it's got dirt and scabs all over it, half of which I've put in it in the last 3 years, because it's a work van and it doesn't matter. So anyway, yeah, I think that's the plan. just the bottom half. I'm not going to film the process. I'll just cut in and out every now and again, because you don't want to watch me sanding for hours and filler paint drying. So I'll be back when there's a bit of progress. I'll just do it step by step. Okay, well, I've ground off the rust. Luckily it hasn't gone through anywhere, so I've ground all that back. Then I've hit it with all different grades on the DA, from 40, 60, 80 all the way up to 320. So I've just sanded this part. Between that, I hit it with the cheek poker. That was to get into any of the rust pits. Now I'm going to hit it with the cure rust. So I'm going to blow this off with a compressor, hit it all the bare metal with the cure rust, and then I can leave this side and go and sand down the other side and do the same. And then by the time I've done that, I can come back, prime this side, and just alternate. Right, I've blown it all down, and I've just hit it with the rust converter. I've slapped it on liberally, and then what I'll do is when I come back, when that's all turned jet black, I'll go over this with the DA on like maybe 600 or 800 grit, just to smooth out, because the cure rust will stay in the pits, but I don't want to be, it'll form little ridges, so I'll have to just go over it to smooth it. Right, onto the other side. Right, the cure rust is curing. I've just put a second coat on this side, and I've rubbed down this side, and then just put some of that cure rust on the inside the arch line, over this patch, and then up into these bits where I've caught it with the sander. I haven't been too accurate with this. All I'm doing is I'm masking about 5mm over this ridge, so that when I'm doing it with the DA, I don't care about catching this edge. If it was a customer's car, I'd have masked it specifically just inside that edge, but on the other side there were some bits of chips. Anyway, that's what I've done. When I say customer's car, I obviously mean customer 20 years ago, when I used to do this for a living. Anyway, while I'm waiting for the cure rust to dry, and having a cuppa, just a general chat, intermission, thought I'd tell you about the latest on the brain shit. I've now been through just about every ENT person available, and they've put me onto neurology. I had an hour with a neuro specialist. What do you call these people? Anyway, a really nice lady who's a neurosurgeon or whatever went through my whole history and everything. The long and short of it is, she seems to think it's pretty much what the last ENT specialist said. It's an epilepsy thing, caused by vestibular migraine, which is a kind of migraine you don't get the headaches all the time with, and when you get the headaches, they're not severe. I get it just around this eye all the time, and like it feels like it's inside my eye, the headache. But anyway, vestibular migraine, which causes vertigo or balance. Vertigo is a very broad thing, covers many things. So they have 4 medications they think might help, but they need to try one at a time, and each one you can't just start it on the full dose. You've got to start with a small dose for however long, and then go up a dose, and then go up a dose. I think she said it ranges from, the first one when we're going to try it, it starts at, I don't know, 20 milligrams, and it goes up to 160 milligrams. So I've got to start on it, see if it works or is helping, and then they'll increase it, and it can take maybe 3 months to see if one drug will work, and she's got 4 drugs she wants to try. So that's a year already, unless drug number 1 miraculously helps or works. But most of the ENT people think it's this. That's why they've passed me on to neurology, and neurology seem to think it's this as well. So that's it. I haven't got the drugs because she's going to write to my doctor and explain what's happening, and then he can prescribe the first set of lower dose drugs, and then I have to stop taking the drugs that I'm on at the moment, nortriptyline, which is basically just something that calms you down, so that when I do get dizzy, I don't get so anxiety. I suffer from a huge amount of anxiety since I had septicemia 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know what it did to my brain, but yeah. So I have like sort of some nortriptyline. It's like a sleeping pill, antidepressant, antipsychotic, whatever. So yeah, me who used to love to be centre of attention, always liked to be in front of a crowd and always the joker and the performer. Now I'm very much singular. The thought of actually being in a crowd with anybody scares the hell out of me. Just going to the doctors to give them a urine sample or have blood taken. I don't mind having blood taken because I've had it, but just the thought of actually even going to the doctors freaks me out. White coat syndrome. So yeah, anyway, that's the latest. So little things like this keep my mind active, but it's like being a prisoner in your own home because I can't drive or ride. Hence I've sold everything, sold all my bikes, cars, all my spare guitars, amplifiers, PA system, everything. I'm now down to, got the family car, which obviously Tracy uses every day for work. I'm hanging on to the van for dear life to see, just in case if I do get fixed, then I've got something to use to get to work. I've got rid of all my guitars and amps and PA systems and everything because I'm not using them, and I've just got one guitar left, which is one I built, and I've got one that me and Sam are building, so I have actually got 2. In fact, he's got 2 of mine, so I've got 3 guitars left. Anyway, I've sold loads. Also, you know, just getting rid of stuff to pay the bills, because my sick pay ran out after 6 months, and I spent months claiming ESA, employment support allowance or something. They finally figured that out. That amounts to £75 a week. So at the moment, everything I do and everything that's surplus in my house and my garages and things, garage, basically I'm selling it all just to pay the mortgage, because after nearly a year of not getting paid, obviously all the money that we'd built up over my years earning good money has now gone. So we're, you know, on the good side, it teaches you to appreciate what you have got and appreciate that you don't need 7 or 8 bass guitars. You don't need 7 vehicles around your house that you never use. You know, you don't need a full PA system that you haven't used for 2 years. We have still got another PA system after that one. So, you know, anyway, 6.5, 6:45, 6:47, 6:48 minutes of crap. I just thought I'd update you, and then we'll go back. Hopefully that's all ready for a light sanding. A lot of masking. I've stolen the dust sheet, don't tell Tracy, because I didn't mask it up very well the other day, but I didn't care because the van's covered in rubbish anyway. So with the overspray, what it is afterwards, I just got a towel, and yeah, that's the one I had a shower with this morning, honest, and brake cleaner, and I just went over it and it just took all the overspray off. But this time I think I'm gonna mask the whole front and do it properly, which is what I should be doing. Paint warmer and shaker. What started this all off the other day was I polished my headlights because they'd gone all, you know how they go, yucky. So I polished those. I've got a little kit that I bought about 5 years ago, and it's been really great for doing headlights. All it is that you put in your drill, that sponge comes off, and there was a load of like Velcro backed little abrasive discs going down to right down from 800 to 3000, and I've had these discs 5 years and I've used them on maybe a dozen cars. And then you put this rubber pad on and they give you some sort of tea-cutty stuff. But what I do is I use my own one first and then that one. And then there was some sealer spray, but I run out of the sealer spray. It's just like it's weird stuff. You spray it on and then you wait for it to dry and then you buff it off. So I had enough to do mine, and then I did Gary's next door, did his headlamps on his Land Rover, and because I'd run out of sealer I just used Mr. Sheen. Literally squirted waxy Mr. Sheen on it, let it dry and buffed it, and it's fine. It'll do for another year. But yeah, that started off the process on here, me thinking I really need to tidy up this vehicle. Right, so masking wise, I've got a 5mm low tack bendy tape just to get my edge, and then I've got some like inch whatever 25mm low tack painter's tape, and then I'll be using the packing tape sticking to the painter's tape and onto my plastic, and then I'm ready to give it another blow off matron and put the primer on. Well, it's a good job I got these sanding bits done. We've got a power cut now, so that's fun. Right, I've masked up as good as it needs. So I'm not really too bothered about overspray on this, because I'll just go over it and wipe it off later. And at some point I'm actually going to colour sand, buff and polish the whole van. If I don't decide to spray it matte drab olive green first. Anyway, that's it. We've got no power now. Everyone's house alarm's going off, so I'm going to get spraying. Good timing. Right, that's the first coat of primer filler. I said I wasn't fussed about overspray there because I'm going to paint these sill bits anyway with the same stuff, black satin black stone chip. Right, back in a minute. All right, done the black. Still got masking tape on that, don't worry about the edge. Managed to get down this sill, but then I ran out of paint, so got the arch done. I've got blue in the front and rear, but I've run out of paint, so unfortunately the shop that's walking distance around the corner is closed because we've got a power cut. So I've just ordered 2 cans on Amazon because I want to do the front bumper anyway, the bottom half of the front bumper. So on these side bits I literally just give it a dust coat. I haven't given it a thick coat, just enough coverage to cover the, see where it's a bit grey. I've literally just give it a really light coat. And need to clean up where I missed with some stuff. Right, I'm gonna get rid of all the masking. I can't remember where I got to. Right, I've unmasked it. I've got a funny, strange, funny ha-ha thing here. Obviously, a bit of my masking didn't stick, so when I get some more paint, I'll mask it from this side, on that curve, and I'll just touch that in with a brush so it follows the curve. And obviously I've got to do the bottom and the bottom half of the bumper. Yeah, I think somebody painted this with Dulux emulsion at one point, so I've just noticed another bit I need to get off with me brake cleaner. So, and I've just wiped off the top of this run because I managed to get it in the crack there. I should have just concentrated on the wheel arches today. That's what you get for losing patience. So I've wiped it off with brake cleaner, and tomorrow I can mask these properly from the inside and paint it when I've got the paint. Alright, that's it, all done for today. That's the better side. And typically about 10 seconds after I'd ordered the paint from Amazon, the power came back on, so the shop's probably open, but don't matter, I've ordered it now, and at least I'll have time to do the prep on the bottom half of the bumper and mask up the two side sills again. So there you go, it's coming along. Not too many shadows. Anyway, that's the sort of effect I was after. I wanted it to look like it had plastic wheel arches and cover up the grot and not have to paint it and try and match the colour. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. It's probably going to be really long. Let me know if you think I should paint just the bottom half of the front bumper black so it sort of matches that plimsoll line, or should I just do the whole front bumper because it's all rotten anyway. I suppose I could do the bottom half, see what I think, and then if I want to do the top, or get some white stone chip and do the top in white. I don't know, whatever, it's an improvement. Anyway, peace and love. I'm Mr. Springy. See you next time. Ta-da.